Yo, what is up guys? Hope you're doing great. In today's video, I want to talk about all the different diets that I've tried over the last 5 years and what I've found to be the most optimal diet to increase your focus, energy, feel great, have great skin, great hair, and just overall a very simple diet that's easy to follow, easy to stick to, and it's also delicious to eat as well. So before I get into exactly what a diet is, exactly how it works, and exactly what I eat at a daily basis to achieve this, I want to talk about stuff that I tried in the past and like how I kind of got into this journey in the first place. And I think a lot of you guys can relate to that as well. So basically, like in my own journey, I started about I would say around 4 or 5 years ago when at that time I was a professional swimmer. So I was putting in a lot of hours. I was usually working out around 2, almost 3 hours every single day on a daily basis. I'd work out in the morning, in the evening usually, and also hit the gym as well, and during the day, all of days. So at that time I would just be eating a very, very high carb diet. I would be having a lot of oatmeal, would be having a lot of rice, a lot of foods like that, just to kind of fuel these workouts. And that's kind of the belief that I had. Basically with how I looked at diet, I was very mainstream advice I was following, where it's don't eat too much fat. Fat is bad for you. Eat a lot of carbs to fuel your workouts, and eat a lot of lean proteins like chicken. So that was just my diet. I would just have rice, pasta, chicken, ground beef, stuff like that. A shit ton of oatmeal, protein powder, and some peanut butter as well. That was basically stuff that I had back then. And I was able to perform fairly well during my workouts. But then after a while I stopped swimming, and I was still eating the same way, and I realized I got some acne. My skin wasn't great. I had energy spikes up and down, and also I realized I was spending a shit ton of time just preparing food, eating food, because I was eating 3 meals per day, or 3 to 4 meals, breakfast, lunch, and then had a snack in the afternoon, and then I had dinner. So it wasn't very time efficient. I was spending all this time making food, eating food, it was taking a lot of time, and I didn't really I realized I don't really have to eat this frequently when you're not a professional athlete, and when you're not your whole life isn't focused around just performing. If that's not your main focus right now, I realize you don't really need to eat all the time and actually eat all these carbs in the morning, all that stuff. If you're just gonna be sitting down and working, it doesn't make a lot of sense, Because obviously it makes sense if you're gonna have a big workout, if you're gonna be expending a lot of calories, if you need a lot of energy early in the day, obviously then it makes sense to eat some carbs. But if you're just gonna be relaxing, it doesn't make a lot of sense. If you're just gonna be sitting by your computer and working pretty much. So that's basically what I was doing back then. And long story short, what I ended up doing, I was trying. After that, I saw some documentary about the vegan diet. I think it was called Game Changers. I saw that on a flight. I remember me and my family went on a vacation to Spain, and I saw that video on the flight there, and I was shit, I need to try this diet, because I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger, all of these athletes that I looked up to, and they were promoting the diet. And at the time I didn't realize that this was all propaganda, so I tried it. And that was probably one of the worst vacations I ever had, because my energy was trash throughout. My mood was shit. I had dips up and down in terms of my energy. I just felt empty inside, and the food that I was having didn't taste good. It was overall just shit. We were there for I think 2 weeks on the vacation, and I remember that was one of the times I felt the worst in my entire life, in terms of how I felt in my stomach, my energy levels, everything was just shit. And yeah, I felt really bad doing it. So obviously after that, pretty quickly when I came back, went back to the normal diet that I was doing, high carb, same thing that I was mentioning before. And then after a while I started hearing about fasting, and I realized fasting makes a lot of sense, because I'm able to first off have more mental clarity. When you don't eat carbs, you don't get the energy crashes that you get if you eat. So that was the first thing I realized. If I stop eating it early in the day, I can just focus more on my work in the first couple of hours. So that's what I ended up doing. I removed my breakfast, and it obviously also allowed me to eat bigger meals as well, because I'm someone who likes to eat a lot of food in one go. So I could have a bigger lunch and a bigger dinner as well. It was all a win-win. I just fasted in the morning, and I would just have a normal meal, carbs, protein, and for lunch and dinner, and that was pretty much it. So that's what I did, and then I got kind of a bit more extreme with it, because I was I feel so good when I'm fasted. I have so much focus, so my mental clarity. So I went to the next step. I'm someone who likes to experiment and like kind of push the boundaries and like see what's really possible. So I found some guys online who were talking about the OMAD diet, so like 1 meal per day, where you basically fast the entire day, have one huge meal where you can have pretty much whatever you want at the end of the day. So I started trying that, and in the beginning I was struggling a lot because I was super hungry throughout the day. I had to work out, fasted, and I was felt like I was dying pretty much, And then at the evening I would just have like a huge pizza. I remember I would order like a Domino's like family size pizza and just eat that all in one go, and then like have some ice cream after that as well. So I'll just eat the most like outrageous like dinners, just eat insane amount of food, often like super like unhealthy processed stuff as well. But it kind of worked. It's like in the beginning of the day I had focus, I was pretty hungry throughout the day. I could because I was eating a lot of carbs for dinner, I felt a lot of hunger, so it wasn't ideal, but it kind of worked out. But then like what I ended up realizing is I was like, after a while, like my skin was still like, I had a lot of like breakouts on my skin. I didn't feel great. Energy was like, I had an energy dip after like 12 p.m. My energy would just go down a lot. Couldn't focus, struggled to like get any work done, and I was just thinking about food all the time. I'll be watching like YouTube videos about food, and like, I was kind of obsessed with it. So I was like, I need to find a healthier way to be able to keep the fast going so I can save all the time that it saves me, but get the focus back and figure out a way how to actually be able to focus on my work and get shit done. And that's what I heard about the carnivore diet. Or basically simply put, what it is just eat animal products. You just eat basically meat and like eggs and salt and water, and that's it. So super simple. And I like stuff that's like super simple. You don't need to think about it. You can just like follow a super simple plan, and there's nothing to like complicate. That's how I like kind of following. So I ended up starting to try it. And like seriously, that was like a huge like game changer for me. When I started doing that, I was like, I didn't get hungry anymore. Like when I started eating meat and eggs, I could fast for like 24 hours and just eat for like 1 hour per day and get like feel zero hunger at all. Having like super consistent energy throughout the day. My skin cleared up, got way better skin, hair improved, like everything improved a lot. So I was like, this is the thing, this is what I need to dial in on, and I just did that for quite a long time. I just committed to the diet. I saw like gains in muscle as well. My health improved, like everything was just better on the diet. And also it was delicious. Like I love eating fucking like rare steaks every single day, having ribeyes, having eggs, like it's delicious, And then I kind of went a bit further, So I like I said before, I like going kind of extreme on things and like really pushing the boundaries. So I found some guys online who were doing like a raw diet. We eat raw meat, we eat raw eggs and that kind of thing. And I mentioned this in a previous video, but I ended up doing that. So if you're interested in hearing like exactly my experience and like exactly what happened, like all the side effects that I got and also why I stopped that diet, watch that video where I go more in depth into it. But just to give like a high level overview, basically what happened is I went on that diet for 6 months where I only had raw food. I had a lot of detoxes. My body I would be throwing up. I would have diarrhea all the time. So I was like, it's not worth it. The benefits I get are not worth it. So I ended up going back to the carnivore diet after that, and that's what I'm still on right now. So my diet right now is I basically fast the entire day. Then I have basically 3 different foods. That's it. I have meat, usually ribeyes. I have eggs that I usually scramble. And then I have butter, so like raw butter, unpasteurized. That's the best kind of fat for your body to digest that can absorb properly. With the most nutrients as well, because it's not been like heated up. So that's basically what I have right now, and I put some salt on it, and then I have some like mineral water as well throughout the day. And that's it. So super simple diet, don't need to overthink it. Like I know exactly, I just eat until I'm full at the end of the day. I have one huge meal that I always look forward to having. I don't feel hungry throughout the day. I have a lot of energy, skin is good, energy is good, like everything is dialed in with the diet. And I'm able to just focus on the things that really matter in terms of work, other things, having fun, and like not having to focus on my diet all the time. So what I've found from my experience now over the last 4 years, like this is the ideal diet if you're someone who's focused on work, if you have like a career that you're really like prioritizing, and also if you're someone who works out. Like I work out every single day, and I'm able to have the energy. I'm able to build muscle on the diet. Like I have everything I need on the diet, and you can still perform very well on this diet as well if you're someone who works out even more as well. So I would strongly recommend that you try it out because it's very simple. It's gonna improve your health a lot, energy levels, and as I said, like skin, everything gets better on the diet. And for me, it's helped me a lot to get to a place where I'm just dialed in, don't need to worry about the stuff, and I can just live like a more simple life, and overall just feel better. So I think that's really important, and I hope you guys got some good takeaways from this. Hope you guys give it a try with the diet, because I definitely think it can help pretty much everyone in terms of just leveling up your health and your energy and level in general. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you tried it, if you're looking to try it, your questions about the diet, things like that. Happy to talk about it, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao!